can't write code. You're not an engineer. You're not a designer. You can't put a hammer to a nail. I built the circuit board. The graphical interface was stolen from Xerox PARC. Jeff Raskin was the leader of the Mac team before you threw him off his own project. Everything, someone else designed the box. So how come 10 times in a day, I read Steve Jobs as a genius? What do you do?
I play the orchestra.
Presented in a unique structure, Steve Jobs attempts to take a look at more than 3 infamous product launches of the digital age by trying to show us the man who is behind them, Steve Jobs himself. Jumping from the years 1984, 1988, and 1998, we are shown what was apparently going on behind the curtains of these historical days. Across each of these 3 segments, we see the developing relationship of Steve and his assistant, his boss, his co-workers, his friends, and even his daughter. There was one thought I consistently had while watching this film, and the character of Steve Wozniak, played by Seth Rogen, was kind enough to say it for me. Steve Jobs is an asshole. There was a lot of backlash in the 2013 film just called Jobs, where it was argued that Ashton Kutcher's version of Steve was way too nice compared to the man he really was. I would definitely say that Michael Fassbender's version of Steve Jobs is more accurate, but that made the film really hard to enjoy. Don't get me wrong, Michael Fassbender does a phenomenal job playing his character, but because he plays such a jerk, it makes it really hard to care about anything he has to say. I found myself trying to find any redeeming quality in Steve that I could, but found myself not being able to, which made it extremely difficult to appreciate the film considering it all revolved around his perspective. Even if it was supposed to be more accurate of a film, I found myself wishing it didn't follow Steve, but the other people who appeared in his life that he treated like garbage. The film is really beautifully shot, and had a strong use of long tracking shots that were accompanied with great music. It's also worth giving a shout out to Seth Rogen for his role of Steve Wozniak. It felt refreshing to see the comedy actor in a more serious role, and it was even better watching him pull it off. But is this film worth the price of admission? Unless you're some huge Apple buff who lives and breathes the man who is Steve Jobs, it isn't. Yes, the film is formatted in an interesting way that makes it feel unique, but unfortunately the character of Steve Jobs is so unenjoyable to watch that you'll be wondering when the credits are going to start rolling. Were you planning on checking out Steve Jobs? Let us know in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and then go to Facebook and Twitter and follow us on our pages. From the Price of Admissions team, thanks for watching.